Have you ever felt like you're just screaming your affection at someone?
Oh, yeah. Like you're trying your absolute hardest to show you care.
Right. But they still look at you like you're speaking an alien language.
It's so frustrating. And that specific disconnect where two people are really trying but still feel totally empty is what we call linguistic dissonance.
Which brings us to today's deep dive. We're looking at the framework that actually gave us the vocabulary for this. Gary Chapman's 1992 book, The Five Love Languages.
And I know what you're probably thinking. BuzzFeed quiz, right. Pop psychology.
Exactly. But we aren't here to just tell you to date your type. We're digging into the actual mechanics of emotional attachment.
Yeah, we've got sources tracing this theory from early family counseling all the way to modern corporate culture, alongside some pretty sharp critical analysis from modern psychology.
So the mission for this deep dive is to really understand this love tank metaphor, identify how we unwittingly drain it, and, see if the science actually backs the model up.
Let's start with that love tank. I know it sounds a bit fluffy,
A little bit.
but it's actually the core mechanical concept here. Everyone has an emotional reservoir, and when it's full, you feel secure. You handle conflict with grace.
But when it's empty, we regress.
Right. Exactly. The theory says we misfire because we project our own native language onto others. We just assume it'll fill their tank because it fills ours.
Right. So let's run through the five languages, but I want to focus on the nuance our sources highlighted, the stuff that usually gets missed.
Good idea.
First up, words of affirmation. And this isn't just throwing out random compliments. It's about validation.
And the dialect you use is crucial here. There is a massive difference between a humble request and a demand.
Because a request gives your partner a choice.
Yes, a demand is just pressure.
Oh.
Oh, and the ultimate destroyer for this language, sarcasm. It just cuts right through the
Yeah.
tank.
Okay, next is quality time. The source was very specific on this. He means undivided attention.
Right, eye contact. There's actually a fascinating term mentioned in the research. Technoference. Or phubbing.
Phubbing, like snubbing your partner for your phone.
Exactly. If you're checking notifications while they're talking, you're signaling that the device is just more important than they are.
Ouch, that one hurts. Then we have receiving gifts. And to be clear, this isn't about materialism at all.
No, not at all. It's a visual symbol. It just says, hey, I thought of you. And it also includes the gift of self, like actually showing up physically during a crisis.
Which ties into the next one, acts of service. Doing things to ease the burden. Cooking, fixing the sink.
But the critical context here is that it has to be voluntary.
Right, if you do the dishes out of guilt.
Or fear. It does not fill the tank. It has to be an act of free will.
Makes sense. Finally, physical touch. This one's highly biological. It raises oxytocin, lowers cortisol. It's really about safety, just as much as intimacy.
But these aren't static. Our sources highlight how these actually evolve through developmental stages.
Yeah, like for children under 3, you need to use all 5 languages just for basic survival and trust.
But then you hit the teen years, and you need dialects.
Right. A teenager who loves physical touch might absolutely cringe at a public hug.
Yeah, so you adapt. A fist bump or a shoulder check respects their autonomy, but it still makes that vital contact.
We even see this in the workplace, right? Acts of service might look like a boss jumping in to help during crunch time.
Totally. It builds huge loyalty.
Now, there is a practical tool from the research I really loved, the tank check. You literally just ask your partner, on a scale of 0 to 10, how full is your tank?
And if it's not a 10, you follow up with, what can I do to fill it? Statistics actually show this reduces conflict by 40 to 60%.
Just because it stops you from operating on assumptions, that's huge.
It is. However, and here's where it gets really interesting, we do have to look at the limitations. The scientific view is actually a bit skeptical.
Right. Modern researchers argue the 5 categories are somewhat artificial constructs.
Because real life is messy. Things like shared values or intellectual intimacy, they just don't fit neatly into those 5 boxes.
And the research shows that just matching your languages doesn't automatically equal happiness. The real predictor of success is emotional responsiveness.
Yes. Are you willing to try? It's the effort that counts, not just being fluent in the language.
We also have to mention the darker analysis from our sources regarding manipulation. The framework can definitely be misused.
Absolutely. The sources note that abusers might use physical touch to coerce intimacy, or use acts of service to enforce rigid gender roles.
It's a really stark reminder that the model describes communication, but it doesn't automatically validate every behavior.
That is a crucial distinction.
So bringing it all together, what does this mean for you? The true value here isn't necessarily the 5 categories themselves, it's the decentralization.
Right. Realizing your way of feeling love isn't a universal default. It turns love from a passive feeling into an act of discipline.
It's about stepping outside your own ego to comfort someone else.
Precise.
I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. If you are speaking your native love language really loudly, but your partner isn't hearing it, are you actually loving them, or are you just performing affection for yourself?
Ooh, that is definitely the question to chew on.
Thanks for diving in with us.